As president, I am pleased to welcome you on behalf of the faculty, the staff, and governing boards of Weber State University to the university's 136th commencement. The prelude and processional music were performed by the Weber State University Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Dr. Michael A. Palumbo. Seated on the platform are members of the Board of Trustees, Rex Baxter, Brian Bowles, Camille Kane, Barney Chapman, Alan Hall, Catherine Lindquist, and Victoria Thompson. We are very pleased to have with us today Rodney Brady and Paul Thompson, past presidents of the university. Also, yes. Also seated on the platform are Scott Marquardt and Teresa Tyre, members of the Utah State Board of Regents, and William Cederberg, Commissioner of the Utah System of Higher Education. Faculty, staff, student body officers, and past honorary degree recipients are seated on the floor. I would especially like to acknowledge our faculty and staff who are retiring this year. We appreciate their dedication and their service to the university, and we wish them well in their new endeavors. Let's give them a round of applause. Welcome, graduates. Today, as you receive your degree from Weber State University, take a moment to think about how your education has helped you grow in ways you couldn't imagine, even just a few years ago. You've experienced the intellectual development that comes from reading great literature, studying the sciences, and examining the historical and social issues of our age. You had opportunities to apply your knowledge in fields as diverse as education, business, the health professions, and technology. You have honed your critical thinking skills and enhanced your ability to write, to speak, to perform, to analyze, and to conduct research. During your years at Weber State, many of you took on a leadership role, or you played a sport, or participated in an extracurricular activity you'd never tried before. The sum of these learning experiences has formed you into the person you are today, a college graduate who's prepared for the world that awaits you tomorrow. As you walk across the stage and you receive your diploma, you join the ranks of more than 3,300 students who will graduate this academic year from this institution. You have become one of more than 100,000 alumni of the university. Each of you experienced the fundamentals that make this university great: hard work, dedication, close personal interactions with faculty and staff, and the support of family, friends, and the larger community. I would like to take the opportunity to learn more about the class of 2010. Graduates, this is work for you. Please stand if you are the first in your family to graduate from college. Please stand. You may be seated. That's a great accomplishment. Thank you. Please stand if you worked part-time or full-time while attending the university. You bear out the phrase, "Our students work to go to school at Weber State." Please stand if you participated in a service learning project, if you worked on a research project with a faculty member, or you completed a senior project. Please stand. Thank you. Please be seated. Please stand if you have a job or are continuing in graduate or professional studies. Please stand. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations to each and every one of you, and best success in the future. As you leave today, remember that graduation does not mean the end of your connection to Weber State University. The knowledge you've gained and the friendships you've formed will last a lifetime. Approach each new day with the zeal and the determination that led to the accomplishments we are celebrating today. Stay in touch, tell us about your successes, and don't ever forget that you bleed purple. Now you'll have the opportunity to hear from Johanna Phelps-Hillen, one of our outstanding graduates, who as a representative of the 2010 class will deliver the student address. Following Johanna's remarks, Alan Hall, Chair of the Board of Trustees, will present an Honorary Doctorate of Humanities to Lieutenant General Brent Scowcroft. Johanna Phelps-Hillen is graduating today with a Master's of Arts in English. She was born in upstate New York and has lived throughout the United States and in Vienna, Austria, before moving to Salt Lake City. Johanna has been the recipient of 2 scholarships and graduated cum laude with her Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy and German. While earning her master's degree at Weber State, Johanna has served in the AmeriCorps program as has presented at conferences on civic engagement and modern European scholarship. Johanna's plans for the future include continuing her work with AmeriCorps Vista at Weber State, welcoming her first child in March, and then pursuing a PhD in philosophy. Ultimately, she wants to teach in higher education in an environment which fosters civic engagement and service learning. Ladies and gentlemen, Johanna Phelps-Hillen.
Thank you, President Milner, and I'm honored to be here today speaking to you all. Every weekend, I write a letter to my son, the little life that is growing in my body. I hope the letters allow him to understand my husband and me as individuals before he gets too caught up in the whole, why can't I take the car tonight? Why can't I skip school tomorrow for that concert? And we just seem like fussy parents who say no all the time. I've begun to realize, though, that the letters mean a great deal to me as well. I've written on the typical joys of pregnancy, but also on the issues of injustice, inequality, and hate, which I know my son will be confronted with as he grows. I've realized, while writing these letters, that now, more than ever, my education and the privilege of possessing that education give me and all of us here today a tremendous amount of responsibility. I'm graduating today with a Master's of Arts in English, a degree I never imagined I could achieve. Yet here I am. But before I began pursuing my degree at Weber State, I was already working on campus in the Community Involvement Center as an AmeriCorps Vista, or Volunteer in Service to America. Shortly after I began working here, I registered for classes. And soon I realized what attracted me to further my education at this institution, the mission of Weber State University. We are so privileged to be graduating from a university whose mission encapsulates the values of diversity, civic service, and strong ties between students, faculty, staff, and community. And as an individual who has committed 2 years of her life to fighting poverty, it only made sense to attend a university dedicated to civic engagement. Additionally, in interacting with faculty, students, staff, and the nonprofit partners of the Community Involvement Center, I have witnessed and been shown firsthand how students make meaningful change while working and learning at Weber State. I have seen amazing projects undertaken and true change made. And these experiences have reinforced what I believe to be universal values concerning education and engagement. The past 18 months have taught me two things which I believe all Weber State students can appreciate. If you set your mind to something, you can do it. And two, it is an incredible privilege to attend an institution of higher learning. And have no doubt that the degree you have earned through arduous work will serve you. However, please understand too that so many people in your local and global communities have not had the same chances as you. Therefore, despite all your hard work to achieve this degree, you cannot quit now. You should, with your incredible accomplishments, acknowledge that now is the time to embrace your responsibility as well-educated citizens to reinforce the importance and accessibility of education in your community, in addition to promoting equality and education in your world. We can all use the differences in our lifestyles, personal philosophies, future goals, and educations to better our community and world. And what I can say for sure is that Weber State has been committed to our differences from the start. It has fostered them, and we are all graduating with not only an exceptional education, but also with the unique ability to look at the world critically and thoughtfully and decide how to best use our education and talents to make it better. In possessing the degree you have earned, you now possess a new tool to meet your goals and realize your dreams and hopes. But remember also that in possessing a degree from Weber State University, you also implicitly possess a privilege and a responsibility to impact your community with your knowledge, skills, and expertise as well. Never forget that Weber State's mission embraces this, and the education you have reinforces this. Go achieve your dreams and make positive change in the world. Start today.
I am a student.
I am an educator.
I am a registered nurse.
I am an anthropologist.
I am a businessman.
I am a writer.
College football fan.
A friend.
I am a mother.
I am a husband.
A daughter.
A son.
I'm energetic.
I'm excited.
I am thrilled.
I am the future.
I'm really going to miss a lot of my classes.
A lot of the faculty, the people, I've made a lot of good friends.
I would probably have to say it would be some of the friendships.
I'm going to miss the relationships that I've gained with teachers and with fellow students.
I'm going to miss the small classes. I loved a lot of the teachers that I had. I really got to know them.
I've learned the most from them and grown more as a writer and as a student from interacting with the students and with my teachers.
After graduation, I plan to hopefully go to a private business school in Arizona.
Continuing my education and get a master's in nutrition.
Hopefully I'm going to be able to get into grad school. I've started applying, got to take the GRE, which was such a fun test.
Well, we're going to probably have about 8 or 10 kids.
No.
I do have a novel manuscript that I finished. I have a literary agent looking at it.
I hope to work for an ad agency. At this point, I'll eventually become a mother, but I really want to be in the work field as long as I can.
Starting to get my foot in the door with a government position as a data analyst.
And I'm going to shoot for the stars. I hope to go to Pepperdine.
What I'm planning on going on to is to get my MSW, which is Master's in Social Work, hopefully at the University of Utah. Cross your fingers.
I'm excited to see what careers I will have available for me hereafter.
I would classify Weber State as a special place because of the care that they show every person that comes through here.
There's the great small classes and the professors who really want to make sure that you get where you want to go.
I think Weber is an amazing place.
I have memories when I was a child coming here with my mom when she was getting her degree. And so seeing the Shepherd Union building now compared to then, I remember walking through with orange flags. To me, when I come up here for a brief second, every time I pull up, I get a little flash of that. So to me, it is a special place.
I've found that the teachers have been more concerned about where I'm going and what I am doing.
You know, Weber State wasn't initially a special place, but it became a very special place for me.
We had met in the library during finals week.
I was actually kind of shy to approach her. I had been listening to a song. The words that they said in there kind of expressed how I felt.
He said, "Can I have 3 minutes and 25 seconds of your time?" And I was sitting across the table and he put his iPod and this note and he just slid it across the table like in a movie.
I'm glad she thinks that way because I was super nervous. So yeah, Weber's been special for sure.
Professor Vihil's really stood out in my experience here. I've just really enjoyed all the professors in the social work department. They all have such a variety to offer in a different way that I've really quite enjoyed it. It's been fun for me. My husband Dustin has been very supportive, and I would just love to tell him thank you for being such a huge contribution to my education. I've always been first to say I could not have done this without him. Going back to school was the best thing that I've ever done. This feeling that I have right now has been my payoff, and it's not something that I can touch, it's other than the diploma, but the feeling inside has really just made it every day, every semester, every year worth it. So if you're thinking of starting school or going back, do it. It's the best thing you can do for yourself.
When you can recognize the goodness and the talents that you have and be able to magnify those and really become someone that you could be, I think that's amazing.
You know, being as I am physically, I could not live the lifestyle that my parents did. You know, because back home, all there is ranch work or oil field. So I knew that, you know, education was my only way out if I was going to do anything on my own. Things in which I am currently doing, I should not be able to do. I'm proud of it because, you know, I have done it. So it's kind of like reaching a goal that you were told you couldn't.
I am most definitely a different person than the first day I walked onto campus. I am confident in that I can succeed and I hope to succeed.
I loved the experience and I loved the friends that I made while I was here.
And I think I've grown more as a person with social skills, just overall how to communicate with people.
I kind of look at graduation as the beginning, but I also look at getting my education as building the foundation.
Oh, when I get that diploma, it'll feel like a great accomplishment.
You know, wipe the sweat off your brow and, you know, I finally got something accomplished now.
I am Rachel Green.
I am Emily Harbertson.
I am David Kinnaman.
Casey Egbert, and I am graduating.
We are graduating.
From Weber State.
Weber State.
Weber State University.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We will now proceed with the awarding of the honorary degree of Doctor of Humanities. This is the highest honor Weber State University confers upon an individual, and we are very pleased to award such a degree today. President Milner, honored guests, and distinguished faculty, it is the recommendation of the Board of Trustees and the faculty of Weber State University that the honorary degree of Doctor of Humanities be conferred on Lieutenant General Brent Scowcroft. Will Catherine Lindquist and Barney Chapman, members of the Board of Trustees, please escort General Scowcroft to the podium and assist in the hooding. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General Brent Scowcroft is one of Ogden's most renowned native sons. He is a graduate of Ogden High School, the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, and Columbia University. During a nearly 60-year career of dedicated service to America, he held critical leadership positions in the U.S. military establishment, served as a senior advisor to 4 American presidents, and became a widely recognized authority on international affairs, foreign policy, and national security. General Scowcroft has been equally successful in the private sector, where his in-depth knowledge and experience in the global marketplace has helped American enterprises establish new roles in the world's emerging economies. He is the founder and president of the Forum for International Policy, a nonpartisan, not-for-profit group that provides independent analysis and perspective on major foreign policy issues. He is also president of the Scowcroft Group, an international business advisory service. In the public service realm, General Scowcroft is director of the Qualcomm Corporation, co-chairman of the Blue Ribbon Commission on America's Nuclear Future, a member of the University of California President's Council on the National Laboratories, and an advisor to the School of International and Public Affairs at Columbia University. Amazingly, General Scowcroft has still found time over the past 2 decades to co-author 2 foreign policy studies, A World Transformed with President George H.W. Bush in 1988, and America and the World, Conversations on the Future of Foreign Policy with Zbigniew Zabrinski and David Ignatius. In addition to numerous honors previously received by General Scowcroft, he was recently inducted into the Hinckley Institute of Politics Hall of Fame at the University of Utah. In 2005, President George W. Bush credited General Scowcroft's service both within and outside government circles with contributing to a more effective U.S. intelligence community, a stronger America, and a safer world. In recognition of a life selflessly dedicated to public service, international cooperation, and world peace, the Board of Trustees and President F.N. Milner, on behalf of Weber State University, confer upon Brent Scowcroft the degree of Doctor of Humanities. I've got this wonderful certificate for you to put on your wall. I'll hand it to you and shake your hand. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our commencement speaker, General Scowcroft.
Chairman Hall, President Miller, distinguished guests and graduates of the class of 2010. I want to express my deep appreciation for the honor you have just bestowed on me. It adds measurably to the great pleasure and distinct privilege that I have in being with you today. A great pleasure because it is especially fulfilling to be a momentary part of your lives as you pass through one of life's great transitions. And a privilege because I have, at long last, a formal connection to Weber State University. As former Weber College, nestled in the heart of Ogden, it was an intimate part of my youthful environment. And now, an honorary degree. So it's a great moment for me. But I do want to tell the graduating class that I'm aware of what you all must be thinking, that I'm the only thing standing between you, your diplomas, and the rest of your lives. I promise to be mercifully brief, but not so brief as Winston Churchill when he addressed a class of British prep school graduates. He got up, cleared his throat, and said, "Never, never, never give up," and sat back down again. I subscribe to his theme, but unfortunately for you will not be quite so succinct. You are graduating into a world and a domestic national environment of great complexity and one in the world of historical discontinuity. Let me give you just a little sense of perspective. 20 years is a long time in your lives to date, but not in your lifetimes. 20 years ago, the world was emerging from the period of the Cold War. This is ancient history to you, but it was a period in which many of the attitudes and structures of the world today were formed. It was a period of intense bipolar rivalry, taking place under the omnipresent threat of a nuclear cataclysm should either side make a serious miscalculation. And suddenly, in the blink of an eye, historically speaking, that world disappeared. It was replaced by a world which was virtually the polar opposite of that of the Cold War. Gone was the single enemy and the apocalyptic threat of nuclear holocaust. In its place was a much more disparate world, increasingly influenced by the forces of technology, globalization. Those technological forces are changing the very nature of the nation-state system, which began about 400 years ago and probably reached its zenith in the struggles of the 20th century. Now, however, globalization is eroding national political borders. States can no longer provide for their citizens in the complete manner to which those citizens, have long been accustomed. Issues such as health, climate, capital flows, information technology, and others do not respect national borders and require international cooperation for successful management. Some have even more dramatic impact. Information technology, for example, is politicizing the world's population. For most of history, the average person knew very little about what was happening beyond his own or his neighboring villages and didn't much care. At present, virtually everyone in the world is within earshot of a radio, eyesight of a television. They know instantly what is going on around the world, and they are energized by it, as we can see every day in the press. Even further, we're trying to cope with these new forces with, as I've mentioned, institutions most of which were developed for the very different world of the Cold War. The recent financial crisis, for example, clearly revealed a single financial world, but there is no world financial structure to cope with it. We're struggling to develop a G20 and to adapt institutions like the IMF and the World Bank, themselves constructed for the world of 1945, to cope cooperatively with this problem. Similar struggles to adapt institutions of this changing world we can see in the U.S. intelligence community, NATO, a wonderful military alliance, but for what now? And even the United Nations. In addition to this world scene, you're also graduating into a period of intense national debate about our domestic institutions and practices. This debate includes relations between our states and the federal government, definitions of American exceptionalism, even the very nature of our Constitution. It is good to reanalyze ourselves. We do so periodically, and usually, but not always, with edifying results. We have had in the past multifaceted debates, know-nothing political movements, Supreme Court packing, even a civil war, to mention only a few. As an aside, for those of you interested in constitutional issues, I commend a new book called Ratification: The People Debate the Constitution. This book, which is just out last month, I believe, some of our current debate about constitutional issues are eerily similar to debates that took place between the writing of the Constitution and its ratification by the states a couple of years later. Whether or not the Constitution was divinely inspired, its founders were very conscious of their humanity and their limitations, and they relied on the wisdom of the American people for the document's interpretation and change. We sometimes need to remind ourselves the Constitution was not a design for efficient government. Its primary goal was to protect the rights of the individual against any government attempts to subvert them. It does that very well by setting up numerous checks and balances. But that structure means that real progress can come only through cooperation and compromise, which right now is sadly lacking. In the complicated period presently engaging the world, it is critical for Americans to recognize this about ourselves. So this is the world which is beginning to become yours. As I pointed out, you are now standing on the threshold of one of life's major transitions. Society has been giving to you thus far in your lives. That will end soon. If not now, then after some graduate school. Remember, we owe the things we cherish most to the sacrifices of those who went before us. It is their legacy you are enjoying now. I ask you to reflect just a moment on true essentials. What, for example, would you like your own epitaph to say about you? I turn back to Winston Churchill, who said, "You make a living by what you earn. You make a life by what you give." I would hope that many of you would carefully ponder those powerful words, and that some of you would consider turning to public service. I think you would find there is something enormously fulfilling about being engaged in something larger than yourself. It imparts a gratifying sense of purpose, which, at least in my own experience, is not attained in any other way. But beyond that, there is a desperate need in this country for good people to man our government structures. I know well it is getting more and more difficult to be a public servant. We have driven many of our best people away. Your private life is made public. Your finances are bared. Your integrity is questioned. And of late, many of our politicians have found it expedient to run against Washington and to demean public service and public servants. But I ask you to consider public service not because it's easy, but because it's hard, rewarding, and most critical, so necessary. How well the wonderful things this nation stands for will be preserved and projected will depend heavily on the quality of the people whose hands are on the helm of state. The characteristics of the world for the next 50 years, those are your years, will still depend inordinately on the behavior of the United States. Only the United States can mobilize the international community to the tasks which need to be accomplished. If we do not lead, there will be no leadership. It may not always be that way, but for most of your lives, that will simply be a fact. But public service doesn't have to mean joining the government in Washington or even Salt Lake. Non-governmental organizations, volunteerism, school boards, local elective offices, all these are necessary to preserve our wonderful heritage and pass it on to succeeding generations. One final word. Set your sights high. It does no harm, except perhaps to your ego, to fail now and then. One-time hockey great Wayne Gretzky once said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." So never be afraid to take your best shot. Good luck. May your future be what we in the Air Force called CAVU, Ceiling and Visibility Unlimited. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, and thank you, General Scowcroft. We shall now proceed with the conferring of certificates, diplomas, and degrees to the graduates. The candidates for graduation will be presented by Provost Michael Vaughn.
Will the candidates for institutional certificates, Associate of Applied Science, Associate of Pre-Engineering, Associate of Science, and Associate of Art, please stand. Will the candidates for the Bachelors of Integrated Studies, Bachelors of Science, Bachelors of Fine Arts, Bachelors of Arts, Bachelors of Music, and Bachelors of Music Education please stand? Please stay standing while I invite the candidates for the Masters of Arts in English, the Masters of Education in Curriculum and Instruction, the Masters of Science in Athletic Training, the Masters of Health Administration, the Masters of Science in Nursing, the Masters of Science in Criminal Justice, the Masters of Business Administration, the Masters of Accounting, and the Masters of Taxation to please stand. President Milner, as Provost of Weber State University, I have the honor to present these candidates for the requirements of the certificates and degrees indicated in the program of the day and deemed worthy of this distinction.
Will everyone please stand? In the name of Weber State University, upon recommendation of its faculty and the authority of the Utah State Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon each of you the appropriate certificate and degree indicated in the program of the day. As a symbol of this achievement, will all the candidates move the tassels from the right side of their caps to the left side? The graduates for the certificates, associate, baccalaureate, and master's degrees will be presented by the dean of each of the academic colleges, the director of the Bachelor of Integrated Studies program, and our associate provost. You can refer to the program of the day for the order of presentation.
Woohoo! Ooh. Stop it some more.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the graduates from the College of Applied Science and Technology. Would the graduates please come forward as directed?
Clark Boyer. Devin Ward.
Garrett H. Cloward.
Cassidy Call Nance.
Brandon Houts.
Travis Hodges.
Colt R. Olson.
Justin Donald Stevenson.
Wilford Clavel.
Colby J. Holmes.
Ty Anderson.
Kyle G. Daybell.
Thomas Kirby.
Bradley Floyd.
Chin Ta Chin.
Chad Romero.
Jacob Ward.
James L. Van Zwierden.
Joshua D. Leah.
Ryan Krishnan.
Boyd K. Frankie.
Jason Kitchen.
Shalane Day Langston.
Annette S. Hansen.
Angela Morby.
Whitney Rochelle Hassenjaeger.
David Wainsgard.
David Rodney Moyes.
Andrew J. Perry.
Charles W. Burt.
Victor J. Vernon.
Tyler Mark Jones.
Sean Wheeler.
Lewis Patterson.
Charlotte Ann Edwards Irvin.
Chad T. Porter.
Jared C. Bagley.
Jeffrey Benedict.
Casey Paulson.
Mark Theron Schaefermeyer.
Carl V. Lewis.
Kirby Brotzman.
Matthew B. Wimmer.
Blake Welling.
Cassie M. Winchester.
William R. Kirchheffer.
Brandon C. Aird.
Christopher Collings.
Christine R. Oseguera.
Benjamin Matthew Fletcher.
Brad J. Kennicott.
Jasmine Harris.
Craig Arnold McIntyre.
Joseph Kemmons.
Michelle Holmgren.
Jenny E. Hogan.
Benjamin Michael Stevermer.
Justin S. Calder.
Shancy Weitzel.
Brittany Rose Smith.
Daniel V. Horton.
Nicholas Thomas Terry.
Mike Snoy.
Christian Gibson.
James Higgins Cameron.
Daniel Ray Peterson.
Zachary R. Schweitzer.
Robert Bruce Spratt.
Dory Boren.
Kasol Adam Kipabon.
Colby D. Kendall.
Jesse K. Vaughn.
Charlie V. Belliston.
Eric Faulkner.
Brian R. Van Gorp.
Jason D. Libert.
Jonathan David Cabs.
Andrew J. Christensen.
Timothy Adam Snyderman.
Ryan W. Schaefer.
Kyle Nathan Lillenquist.
Tovin Scott Benson.
Alan Mafileo.
Benjamin Taylor Wheelwright.
McKay D. Matthews.
Michael Rivers Pentico.
Brandon Williams.
Christopher G. Todd.
Robert B. Squires.
Greg A. Farnsworth.
William V. Hunsaker.
William R. Davis.
Mandy J. Wilkinson.
Stephanie Hope Chipley.
Brock Payton.
Anthony C. Johnston.
Ellie McQueen.
Devin K. Shepard.
Christopher Gilchrist.
Aaron Muchley.
Alan Vaughn Cook.
Colby Jex. Tiffany Hu Kerr. Wyatt L. Packer. Cassidy Christensen Roberts. Natalie Sorochuk. Jessica K. Pitts.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pride and honor that I would like to introduce College of Health Professions, Dr. Ezekiel R. Dumke, College of Health Professions graduates. The first degrees that would be awarded are Master of Health Administration and Master of Nursing Science in Nursing. Will the graduates come forward? Some of them are already here. Congratulations.
Annie Wilson Morell.
Jennifer Lynn Wold.
Jonathan Stout.
Michael Hancock.
Clayton Green.
Susan R. Riggs.
Andrea Beck.
Melanie Speechley.
Riley J. Hohash.
Sean D. Jensen.
Sarah A. Beal.
Jeremy Dietrich.
Delina Shepard.
Solange Gomez.
Camille A. Bowen.
Chantel Ritalik.
Joshua B. Ray.
Molly Ann Nielsen.
Tanae Shalon Nelson.
David Allen Clegg.
Garrett R. Cooper.
Jerica Lynn Packer.
Amanda Smith.
Darren Scott Douglas.
Brenda J. Jackson.
Tina Louise Hall Devine.
Susan King Lococo.
Benjamin R. Stone.
Wesley Glenn Mildenhall.
Amy Marie Martin.
Tilly Marie Tyler.
Lindsay Joe Argyle.
Jennifer Linton Beck.
Taryn Dallas Gokertz.
Angela Nicole Burrell.
Dulcinea Marie Helen Woody.
Stephanie M. Turner.
Derek Mose.
J.C. Robinson.
Justin White.
Leslie S. Meacham.
Casey Egbert.
Randy Lynn Marquise.
Jennifer Stewart.
Marie Wolf.
Laura Lee.
Cassie Page.
Ying Chu.
Keisha Lynn Dimmick.
Tressa Quayle.
Rebecca D. Carver.
Mindy Dellinger.
Cammie Lee Paul.
Jeannie Bay.
Lindsay Nielsen.
Melanie Machen.
James D. Benson.
Melissa Marie Coleman.
Ashley Christine Carden.
Caitlin Hayes.
Candy C. Breinholt.
Melissa Lee Apple.
Jennifer M. Schweppe.
Christina Elizabeth Burton.
Grace Christina Perry.
Michelle Tanner.
Chris J. Foote.
Whitney Terry Hansen.
Marissa Lee Brown.
Leanna R. Jones.
Tyler Carter Allen.
Megan Bryn.
Stephen Kendall Beezer.
Amanda Johnson.
Jonathan C. Campbell.
Jessica Lee Bench.
Corinne E. Uvezovich.
Greg L. Yardley.
Brian W. Barton.
Sarah G. Hicken Pierce.
Mark D. Montgomery.
Jennifer Kitian.
Chad W. Butler.
Mandy Ann Rufai.
Christina Gidry.
Kristen Flukiger.
Kaylin Jano Dumade.
Barrett R. Batchelder.
Christy Catherine Gailey. Excuse me, can I have
Micah V. Krishnan.
Brandy Garcia Rowley.
Nicole Renee Wood.
Rebecca M. Reel.
Derek Cosper.
Anna M. Rainey.
Justin Westfall.
Natalie Dixon Stevens.
Abby Dickamore.
Haley Columbell.
Jenny Lee Spackman.
Karen C. Bingham.
Jennifer Falslove.
Brandy K. Jenkins.
Whitney J. Archibald.
Josie Ray Boyle.
Carissa Paige Nielsen.
Abigail Breinholt.
Sarah E. Collister.
Natalie Marie Wilson.
Andrea Jill Despain.
Kelly J. Brinkerhoff.
Joni Hamblin.
Sam Lorta.
Karma L. Evans.
Andrea Bocut.
Janet Juarez.
Joni Hunt.
Rebecca Greer Adams.
Shanna Lee.
Hilma Sophia Lacayo Taruno.
Lila Buckmiller.
Adam Archer.
Andrea L. Regis.
Brian Bedard.
Tammy K. Buckway. Congratulations.
Heather M. Farrell.
Kiara N. Fonsbeck.
Akiko Nakayama.
Corby L. Adams.
Jennifer G. Kloss.
Erica Rapley.
Nikki Mowdy.
Whitney Brianna Creamer.
Stephanie Bauer.
Amanda L. Steele.
Rachel Zorko.
Doug W. Broadbent.
Rachel Nicole Black.
Lisa C. Fife.
Jessica Lynn Miller.
Julie Robertson.
Camille Diana Giles. Ginger Welsh. Stephanie S. Bass. Samuel W. Potter.
Hey, Ken.
Brian Kingsbury.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to present to you graduates of the Talitha E. Lindquist College of Arts and Humanities. We will present recipients of the master's degree in English first. Will the students please come forward?
Tammy R. Ewell.
Joanna Phelps Hillen.
Nathan A. Barker.
Samuel B. Martineau.
Charla Faye Winterbottom.
Karen Leslie Bateman.
Scott Raymond Webster.
Stacy Parker.
Kevin Richard Lindgren.
Dustin Holt.
Tracy N. Cummins.
Jeremy Willie.
CJ Cameron.
Laurie N. Adams.
Courtney R. Bryson.
Samuel Clausen Cook.
Candace Marie Wilder.
Amy Marble.
Stacy Baker.
Tana Ann Halbert.
Joel Antis.
Jason T. Campbell.
Ashley C. Jensen.
Shannon Bailey Simmons.
Matthew Dom.
Sarah E. Ewing.
Jernay Marie Kowalis.
Nancy L. Funes.
Charlie Eames.
Kimberly M. Sasa.
Catherine Michelle Christian.
Rachel R. Story.
Michael Kirk Edwards.
Brittany R. Breitweiser.
David Thompson.
David Michael Bundy.
Gregory Mann.
Michelle R. Janung.
Jed C. Hall.
Mark W. Woodring.
David A. Duarte.
Brittany Jackson.
Diana M. Lindquist.
Catherine Harris.
Chanson Larkin.
Keisha Geckeritz.
Richard Rodriguez.
Jordan Hunt.
Nathan P. Gines.
Cheyenne Baker.
Erica Huff Carden. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct privilege to introduce to you the graduates of the College of Science. Will the graduates please come forward as directed?
As commanded. Marie Fair.
Carla Nicely.
Nina Amjadin.
Trista Delzer.
Noe Feo.
Jonathan Morris Hansen.
Jason L. Goodsell.
Carrie Lynn Johnson.
Christopher Charles Brunette.
Jens E. Gibbs.
Kyle Gom.
Dallin Cephas.
Bryce Galbraith.
Holly Marie Krieger.
Ryan A. Hidalgo.
Troy Jensen.
Braun Conrad Tuller.
Mike Coombs.
Heidi Muriel Simper.
Carla Marie Kraus.
Ashley N. Adams.
Cassidy Simons.
Jody Johnson. Roadhouse.
Sue Ellen Turcott.
Mackenzie Ann Jackson Garner.
Ellis Taylor Swenson.
Wesley Evan Swenson.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the faculty of the college, it's my pleasure to present the graduates of the Jerry and Vicki Moyes College of Education. Beginning with a master's degree in curriculum instruction, would the graduates please take their places?
Marjorie Conrad.
Jennifer E. Ungren.
Joylene Ritchie.
Deanna Martineau.
Sandra Jensen.
Lene Ruth Gertz.
Jason Robbins.
Sheldon D. Cheshire.
Gail Speechley.
Chris Yurka.
Spencer Kyle Oki.
Logan Glenn Cox.
Lorena Huerta.
Demery Winegren.
Pamela S. Perry.
Julie Stevens.
Melanie A. Hatch.
Christine Marie Marburger.
Jamie LaRue Castillo.
Micah Charles Rodenbow.
Shayla Arnold.
Dina Podelsky.
Ryan Davis.
Chelsea J. Argyle.
Melinda Moss.
Karma Bermudez de Arias.
Margaret Jane Godfrey.
Mackenzie Dawn Hayes.
Jacob S. Cooper.
Danielle S. Birmingham.
Shannon Newman Garner.
Angela Nelson.
Lynette Schumann.
Christina L. Schroeder.
Ashley Ann Cornea.
Sarah Kathleen Connor.
Danielle Erin Holmes.
Samantha D. Sanchez.
Tyler Trimble.
Lindsay Michelle Miller.
Elizabeth Angulo.
Susan Dale Dean.
Landon Scott DeRue.
Ross Woolsey.
Kayla George.
Stacy M. Davis.
Vanessa Jo Ferris.
Fabione Marcella Olmsted.
Brianne Lynn Perks.
Whitney Jean Hancock.
Allison Josephine Wolfgram.
Ashley D. Allen.
Rosalie Light Benoit.
Danielle Ray Kendrick Scothern.
Leah D. Saez.
Leslie A. Schott.
Valerie K. Sanchez.
Heather Brand.
Jolynn Olson Holiday.
Brett T. Bowler.
Queen Ogba Anuoha.
Emily Herbertson.
Jared Rooks.
Christina Marie Cummins.
Abigail Beth James.
Emily A. Graves.
Bob Lambert.
William Ormond.
Allie Thorderson Blackmer.
Rachel Wade.
Amanda Lynn Cross.
Erica Lee Cowan.
Laura Lee Anderson.
Kaylee Larson Marker.
Morgan D. Paul.
Emily Stringham Chilton.
Raquel Kendall.
Savita Kriebel.
Ashley Marie Pippin.
Sarah Jane Allred.
Jessica Smith Silva.
Jennifer Ann Lee.
Jonathan R. Baza.
Tina Marie Palak.
Emily Hewlett.
Celeste T. Pilcher.
Alicia M. Harlfinger.
Brittany Ann Stevens.
Benjamin R. Prince.
Elizabeth Jones.
Vicky Christensen Kentering.
Christy Weil.
Allison Grace Schneider.
Ashley Lynn Meacham.
Shanna Michelle Purdy.
Natalie Vandermaiden.
Stephanie L. Chug.
On behalf of the faculty of the college, it is my pleasure to present the graduates of the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences. The first degrees awarded will be the Master of Criminal Justice.
Armanda Jafich.
Stacy Sue Randall.
Aaron Bjorndal.
Adrian Benjamin Martinez.
Jordan A. Curl.
Jeffrey Lynn Simmons.
Daniel John Bergen.
William Faulkner.
Jaden H. Fackrell.
William Stallings.
Brent Conrad Purvis.
Jacob Thomas Balls.
Bol Abok Guy.
Sam Brian Fenn.
David M. Cook.
Jacob K. Cowden.
Hiram D. Allen.
Cameron Dean Moulton.
Brian S. Ronnenkamp.
McCall K. Christensen.
Lara Gutierrez.
Tyler Tracy.
Valina Taylor.
Joshua T. Furlong.
Jacob Cornea.
Michael K. Hepworth.
Shaylin Clark.
Katie Jensen Park.
Justin Wardell.
Julie C. Nielsen.
Haley J. Brown.
David Aaron Kinnaman.
Andrea Josephine Fielding.
Nicole Lindley.
Kelsey Elizabeth Boyer.
Michelle F. Salim.
Cassandra Strasbaugh.
Ricky Lake.
Jolene Marie Halford.
Helen Rose Tobias Davis.
Garrett Harding.
Jameson Jensen.
Kirsten Goodell.
Joel G. Anderson.
Nicole Goodell Flottam.
Sam Shafter.
Hillary Dawn Nicholson.
Geraldine Brunson.
Rachel Green.
Danielle Christine Mahan.
Marianne J. Davis.
Alexis Grace Walker.
Heather Stevens.
Colby R. Christensen.
Jennifer Sandy Goetze.
Janelle London.
Lindsay K. Saunders.
Natalie K. Rowe.
Joshua Allen Reeves.
Britanna K. Russin.
Caitlin Judith Collings.
Katie B. Jones.
Courtney Lynn Marshall.
Marona Le Ala Nata.
Tawny Crockett.
Adrian Vaughn Fuller.
Camille Allen.
Kevin Michael Phillips.
Kathleen Diane Baxter.
Jenny Flynn.
Carrie Mizell.
Jane Call Woodbury.
Jenny H. Brower.
Benjamin R. Richards.
Lindsay Badger.
John D. McBride.
Danielle Brown Wright.
Krista Peterson.
Alexa Samantha Gonzalez Cardenas.
John A. Hakimin.
Shannon Louise Burton.
James A. Chandler.
Shannon Roosh.
Kevy Leanne Rake.
Cassidy Whitesides Peebley.
Brooke Taylor Widdison.
Elizabeth Ellen Stewart.
Barbara Jean Clapp.
Jason Peter Thomas.
Valentina Salazar Smith.
Christina Cornelius.
Carolina Ferreira Mello.
Whitney Aaron Nelson.
Jeffrey Jordan Trussell.
Jill Chicano.
Rachel Nicole Reed.
Mark S. Dennis.
Gregory Richard Turnbow.
Go business school. Go business school.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the graduates from the John B. Goddard School of Business and Economics. The first degrees to be awarded will be the Master of Business Administration, Master of Accounting, and Master of Taxation degrees. Graduates, please come forward.
Charles R. Olson.
Marilyn Peralta.
Brandon M. Franchino.
Jeffrey R. Harding.
Naven K. Varma.
Greg Willis.
Devin Thane.
Jay Thornock.
George W. Johnson.
Allison Marie Anderson.
Paul N. Chambers.
Joseph Gustav Strand.
Jacob J. Alvord.
Rebecca K. Gibson Nevers.
Thad K. Lemon.
Donna Randall.
Kim L. McGregor.
Douglas G. Proutt.
Ralph T. Montrone.
John Taylor.
D. Craig Elder.
Garrett H. Ritchie.
Cody Carden.
Skip Skank.
Brianna Christensen Roop.
Tyler H. Dillingham.
Jai-In Chang Ching.
Clay J. Yagi.
Brian Eric Van Camp.
Adam M. Murphy.
Tyson Barker.
Cheryl Lee Wolf.
Steve Jones.
Todd C. Markham.
Sean Mathis.
Tyler Archibald.
Jordan T. DeRue.
Todd Tovey.
Sean M. Eddy.
Heather Fotheringham Gay.
Stacy A. Hadley.
Nancy Fuentes.
Burke Adams.
Nicholas B. Robertson.
Benjamin D. Mueller.
William T. Brown.
Cade Iyer Miller.
Brad R. Wade.
Chase Mitchell.
Jacob Goodell.
Kelly Jones.
Curtis R. Child.
Ian Cosley.
Haley M. Lucas.
Heather M. Baker.
Lauren A. Reeves.
Amy Ellen Christensen.
Jacob B. Kirkham.
Jennifer M. Schmidt.
Brandon L. Holmes.
J. J. Mitchell.
Cole Kiyoki Nakamura.
Brandon Craig Gardner.
Justin Willis Embry.
Kyle J. Krebs.
Benjamin R. Hughie.
Kevin D. Rasband.
Sean Michael Stubbs.
Jose Antonio Gill.
Jared L. Fearson.
Jordan Walker.
Julie Ann Elison.
Natalia Johnson.
Michelle Jackson.
Justine Anderson Dimmick.
Kenny Blake.
Austin M. Birmingham.
Wendy Farley.
Carmen M. North.
Crystal L. Rotecap.
Dustin J. Groves. Loette Chaparro.
Cameron Sommers.
Elizabeth Lauren Ward.
Chase Justin Carver.
Lisa M. Yamashita.
Leisha Nancy Spalding Barton.
Brandon M. Jones.
Joni Peterson.
Cassidy A. Clark.
Stephanie A. Glenn.
Talisha M. Jones.
Michaela Beth North.
Justin Staska.
Jacelyn Russell.
Christopher D. Russell.
Landon B. Pitcher.
Scott Walter Morris.
Ryan Coates.
Jordan L. Skeen.
Jennifer Oda.
Tiffany Dow.
Matthew S. Tribe.
Travis L. Kester.
Lindsay Olson.
Jacob D. Bradshaw.
Christopher John McLaughlin.
Zhao Kwang Z. Willie.
Scott Morrill.
John P. Vanderschaff.
Andrew D. Warwood.
Tim K. Hadley.
Tanya K. Johnson.
Sansani Sycamore Ekman.
Garng Swan Craig Gongti. Kittapan Yang Date.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to present to you the graduates of the Bachelor of Integrated Studies program. Graduates, will you please come forward?
Nanette Nelson. Annette Shiley. Jeremy Mayfield. Jody G. Lake. Carrie Checketts.
The final group of graduates we will recognize today are those who are receiving an Associate of Arts or Associate of Science in General Studies. Graduates, please come forward.
Jacob Isaacson.
Keely Marie Christensen.
Rebecca G. Miller.
Brandon Dwayne Clough.
Emily Gold.
Carla Munoz.
Cassandra Jean Olson.
Andrea C. Thorpe.
Allison Taggart.
Ugang Chin.
Mandy J. Dyer.
Lindy Hodges McKay.
Anthony Ewer.
Candida Vasquez.
Ashley Carol Douglas.
Candace Megan Mao.
Jacqueline M. Dillard.
Jessica Ann Jensen.
Benjamin A. Duelhoff.
Dustin Frank Kerbel.
Julia Esther Peterson Cannon.
Vanessa Madoran.
Daniel Buck.
Sean Thomas Peak.
Dustin Porles.
Scott Michael Chamberlain.
Robert L. Nye.
Matthew Borchert.
Kelly Morgan Scott.
Amy Pittman.
Kyle Jacob Scott.
Tess Polson.
Dallin James Langston.
Amandeep Kaur.
Tajinger Kaur.
Veronique Johansson.
Jessica Warner.
Ketasha Swain.
Brenda Ann Boyle.
Mackenzie Flint.
Monty Wingle.
Tracy M. Patzik.
Brooke L. Minnick.
Erica Mae Johnson.
Melissa Bidoff.
Crescentia E. White.
Samantha D. Newman.
Clay Rumsey.
Talia K. Kemp.
Janessa Smith Brenchley.
Ashley Waller.
Nicole Mary Smewen.
Jessica Marie Howell.
Roberto Chavez.
Terry D. Smith.
Alice McLaughlin.
Nicholas Irel Nance.
Amy L. Gerard.
Melanie Yowry.
Cassie Jo Blumel.
Samantha K. Gross.
Jennifer Chalice Nelson.
Cynthia Coe.
Melissa Susan Radford.
Daniel Belknap.
Hue Lu.
Monica S. Martinez.
Maria Christina Leon. Kyle John Hansen. Zach Michael Sunderland.
As president of the Weber State University Alumni Association, I would like to invite all the alumni present today to please stand. Graduates, you should be standing as well. On behalf of these alumni and the Alumni Association, I welcome the class of 2010 into the ranks of the Weber State University alumni. Hopefully, your status as a member of the class of 2010 will be an incentive for enthusiastic participation and continued involvement with the Alumni Association and your alma mater in the years to come. Now that you've become an alumnus, please take the opportunity to visit your Alumni Center. It is a beautiful structure that represents how we feel about the importance of our alumni. You can take great pride in your facility and the activities taking place through the Alumni Association. Again, congratulations and welcome, class of 2010. It's a great day to be a Wildcat.
Thank you. Graduates, today is a personal achievement to be celebrated, but you didn't do it alone. Your family and friends encouraged and supported you in your studies, and they're here to celebrate with you today. Let's give them a round of applause. We appreciate everyone who planned and assisted with the commencement program today. And if there are any in the audience who would like an additional program, they will be available at Portal 14. You may pick them up at the conclusion of the ceremony. For those who would like to view today's program again, please refer to page 23 in your program. It will be up on YouTube and in the bookstore. Alumni, as you leave here today, I encourage you to continue your connection with Weber State University. We hope it is a lifelong relationship where you will return to learn, to foster relationships with faculty and colleagues, and to support students who will follow in your footsteps, and to engage in university activities. You will always be a part of Weber State University, a place that played a role in changing your life. Now, would you please join the Weber State University Symphony Orchestra featuring vocalist Erica Carden in singing the song, Purple and White. For those of you who have not yet memorized Purple and White, the words are printed in the inside of the back cover of the program. This will conclude Weber State University's 136 commencement exercises. Graduates, if you'd like to visit with your professors, please feel free to come down on the floor following the singing of Purple and White. Now will you please rise for our school song?
Proudly waving our old Weber, an ensign of truth and right. The flag, I love it, waves above. I love it with all my might. Oh, royalty lies in its purple, and purity in its white. A king I'll be, if true to thee, and dare to do the right. Oh, I'll be true to thee, oh, purple and white, and I will stand by thee in any fight, for truth and right will